Good evening and welcome to the regular village board meeting. Tonight is Monday, November 3rd, 2025. I call this meeting to order and I ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Ogle.
Here.
Trustee Rossi.
Here.
Trustee Borelli.
Here.
Trustee Petro.
Here.
Trustee Rigoni.
Here.
Trustee Savaria. Trustee Ledden.
Here.
Attorney Lamore. Chief Chalepis.
Here.
Village Administrator Pisha.
Here.
Assistant Administrator Barica. Clerk Schubert is present, and we have quorum.
Thank you, clerk. If everyone would please stand with me and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on here is what's called the unanimous consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. This time I ask if anyone would like to remove an item from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll go through these items so those in the audience and also those watching at home know what the village board is voting on. The complete packets in detail are available on our village website, frankfortil.org. So the first item was the approval of the minutes from both the public hearing on October 20th and the regular meeting on the same date. And then the next item on there is the approval of the bills, and we'll go to Trustee Borelli.
Thank you, Mayor. The bills tonight total $1,917,322.46. They're kind of substantial. There's a couple key items that I'll point out. One is a payment to the IEPA. We have a low-interest loan through them, which we use to finance the wastewater treatment plant expansion. So that's in that payment amount is $572,218.07. And then work at well 18, $286,396.26.
All right, thank you. Next item will go to Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. The item before us is Crystal Brook of Frankfort Phase 2, northwest corner of Stager Road and Harlem Avenue. The preliminary plat for the Crystal Brook of Frankfort subdivision was approved in September 2005. Following several years without any development activity by the original developer, McNaughton Development, due to the Great Recession, the first amended final plot for Phase 1, consisting of 57 lots, was approved in July 2009 and recorded in April 2010. Site improvements for Phase 1, as well as improvements along the periphery of the development, were completed shortly thereafter. However, no lots were sold and no homes were constructed. After the property was foreclosed upon, it was subsequently acquired in October 2013 by REO Funding Solutions, along with its asset manager, Turnstone Group, the current developer. A special use permit for a planned unit development was approved by the village board on November 5, 2018, to formalize a series of development conditions. The first home permit was issued on December 6, 2018. To date, all 57 lots in Phase 1 have been sold, and a total of 54 homes have been constructed or are under construction, leaving only 3 vacant lots in Phase 1 of the subdivision. On January 14, 2021, the Plan Commission reviewed a request for final plot of subdivision approval for Phase 2 of the Crystal Brook of Frankfort subdivision, consisting of 116 lots. At that time, the Plan Commission recommended approval of the final plot subject to 11 conditions in the meeting minutes. Since then, all but 2 of those conditions have been satisfied. The remaining items are primarily outstanding due to ongoing ComEd work on the regional electricity transmission lines running through the development, which has delayed completion of certain final improvements. The 2 remaining conditions are as follows. Condition number 7, dedication of the Arboretum and outlets AGH to the Village of Frankfort at the conclusion of the maintenance and monitoring period and upon acceptance of the improvements by the Village of Frankfort. And condition number 8, dedication and improvement of the park site in accordance with the Frankfort Park District Agreement dated 10/9/18 prior to issuance of the 31st building permit. The motion before us is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the final plat of subdivision for Crystal Brook of Frankfort Phase 2, prepared by Engineering Resource Associates, latest revision dated 7/23/21, in accordance with the reviewed plans and subject to all conditions listed in the ordinance number 3178 and any necessary technical revisions prior to recording.
All right, thank you. Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next one is an exciting one that's been in the works for quite some time. So this one is the Reserve of Copper Creek. Applicant RCCD LLC, represented by Chris Ames of Solix Homes, proposes a 55-unit mixed residential development known as the Reserve of Copper Creek. The 29.92-acre site, formerly occupied by Borg Warner facility, is located at the southeast corner of Locust and Utah Streets, southwest corner of Maple Street and Utah Street. The development includes 35 single-family detached homes and 20 single-family attached homes within 10-story duplex buildings. The applicant requests approval of the final development plan and the final plat of subdivision. At its August 14, 2025 meeting held on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 2 unanimous 7-0 recommendations to the Village Board to approve the final development plan and final plat of subdivision, subject to several conditions. The motions before us this evening are: 1, to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the final development plan for the Reserve of Copper Creek in accordance with the reviewed plans, subject to any necessary technical revisions prior to recording. Conditioned upon final engineering approval, all residential lots shall be developed to reflect the architectural elements of one of the 6 architectural styles listed on pages B5 through B7 of the Downtown Frankfort Residential Design Guidelines. Appendix B of the 2019 Comprehensive Plan, and that each home shall incorporate a masonry element, such as a chimney or porch knee wall, submittal of basement floor plans for the townhomes for staff review, and submittal of the declaration of covenants, conditions, easements, and restrictions for the townhome portion of the development for staff review prior to recording. Motion number 2 is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the final plat of subdivision for the Reserve of Copper Creek, prepared by Design Tech Engineering Incorporated, dated July 18, 2025, and last revised on October 23, 2025, in accordance with the reviewed plans, subject to any necessary technical revisions prior to recording. Final engineering approval, and the developer shall record the declaration of conditions, covenants, easements, and restrictions concurrent with the recording of the final plat of subdivision.
Okay, thank you. So those are all the items on the consent agenda. We have a motion and a second, and there is no further discussion on the consent agenda, so we now go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Burley?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Rigoni?
Yes.
Trustee Savaria? Oh, sorry. Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
And Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you, clerk. Next item on here, we will go to Trustee Rossi.
Thank you, Mayor. McDonald's special use permits for extended hours of operation. Applicant Darren Freehag, LLC, on behalf of the property owner McDonald's USA, LLC, requests special use permits to allow 24-hour drive-up service windows at the existing McDonald's restaurant located at 21011 South LaGrange Road and 7215 Lincoln Highway. The dining rooms at both locations will continue to close daily at 11 p.m. The Frankfort Police Department has indicated no objections to the proposed extended hours, provided that the dining room closes by 11 p.m. The department has also offered to provide safety training for the restaurant staff to address potential late-night incidents. At the June 12, 2025 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded split votes, resulting in non-favorable recommendations for both locations. A 3-3 vote for the LaGrange Road site and a 2-4 vote for the Lincoln Highway site. The Commission's concerns were primarily related to perceived safety concerns. Subsequently, at its August 13th and October 8th meetings, the Committee of the Whole reviewed the request, discussed potential operational conditions, and requested an analysis of overnight demand within Frankfort. The applicant's attorney submitted additional supporting information on October 24th, and this information was forwarded to the village board. As the proposed special use failed to receive approval of the Plan Commission, approval of the special use permits will require a favorable majority vote of the trustees. Each location will be done in a separate motion. The first motion is waive the first and second readings and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for extended hours of operation to the property located at 21011 South LaGrange Road to allow McDonald's to operate 24-hour drive-up service windows in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, findings of fact, and subject to the following conditions. The interior dining room shall close and all exterior doors shall be locked at 11 p.m. All orders placed after 11 p.m. shall be processed exclusively through the drive-up service windows. Drive-up service windows shall remain locked when not in use after 11 p.m. Drive-through speaker boxes will operate using ambient sound detection. The premises shall be equipped with high-definition cameras capturing front and rear license plates, images of customers utilizing the drive-up service windows, and video coverage of the majority of the interior and exterior of the premises. Cameras shall remain functional and operational at all times and shall be available for inspection. Security requirements may be amended at the recommendation of the Frankfort Police Department following security assessments conducted at their discretion. The special use permit is granted to Darren A. Freehag, LLC, and shall be automatically revoked upon sale of the subject property or change in franchise.
All right, so that is the motion on there. Before we would begin any discussion, we'd need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Trustee Rossi, would you like to begin the discussion?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I know there was concern with the Plan Commission about safety, but we have had that addressed by our police department, our police administration, and I personally kind of like the idea if they work shifts, not having people changing shifts at 2 or 3 in the morning, leaving, and coming back at 4 in the morning to start the next shift, since there's only a 3-hour block in between there. And we know we all have some other 24-hour operations that are approved currently in our village. And I know it's a big concern for a lot of people, this subject. And I actually reached out to a couple HOAs. I reached out to a lot of people I've known in town. I have to be honest, the consensus was that they approved it about 95% out of 100 people. Thought we're okay with it, as long as it met all the criteria we required and that it remained safe. And if it became a problem, that it could be stopped at that time. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Burley?
Thank you, Mayor. Trustee Rossi, you bring up some great points. I don't disagree with any of them. I think from all accounts, the owner-operator is, extraordinary with his businesses. And I think there's all these conditions that have been put before us that really alleviate a lot of the concerns. I appreciate all the work that's gone into it. I appreciate the extra documentation that was provided from the last committee of the whole meeting by the owner. So I have all this information. It all looks great, and I still just can't vote for it. I don't think the village is ready for it. I'm not a big fan of the 24 hours just in general in our village, and nothing against you and McDonald's. Again, I think you would do a fantastic job of it. I just don't think it's a fit for our village right now. So I will be voting no.
Trustee Pedro?
Thank you, Mayor. I think this has been a learning experience from both our police and also from the franchise owner to really understanding what security measures are already in place and then what that really looks like for a 24-hour shift. I think what gave me some tipping, I guess, in one direction or another was really the safety of the staff. I really do appreciate the shift work that was explained at the other locations that are currently operating at 24/7, and that does make me feel a little bit more safe around people not leaving at more middle of the night hours, more of the traditional overnight shift. And so I just think it's been a good opportunity to balance both what the applicant is sharing with what our police has shared, and also the conditions that are in here give us that opportunity to reassess if there were any additional safety concerns that came up. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Rigoni?
Thank you, Mayor. When this first came before us, we had a lengthy conversation that it was centered around safety and whatnot. And at that time, I guess I didn't have a true appreciation for how we were currently operating. We're currently operating outside of our hours, even the drive-through currently to 1 a.m. on both of them. That then caused me to pause and kind of look at others. For me, we have all of these safety items addressed. They are in here. I feel as if I would have liked to have the conversation of finding that instead of all or nothing, all or something. Looking to see if there was that middle ground. My fellow board members have great opportunity in other 24-hour businesses that have come before us. 24/7 is a lot in terms of the extent. Knowing that you're already operating to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, does that give an opportunity to look at maybe finding some middle ground? Maybe that's where that 24-hour comes and the extended hours that had already kind of been established in this village from prior boards. For me, it's more of just the extent of it, going from almost zero, nothing, to 24/7. For me, if we could have had the opportunity to come back, see if there was that middle area, as opposed to completely, 24/7, finding that where it was more of those peak demands, which you've kind of already, as I said, identified on your Fridays and Saturdays. So for me, because it is that all or nothing, that 24, that's where my position is no. If we could have had more of that conversation and dialogue to find a middle, even one that instead of, right now, two, it's both. That's two, that there's both of them. Even the data that was showing was kind of showing more towards maybe the middle area, maybe it's 30 and 45, which is kind of the heartbeat of our community, would have been something looking for those modified hours as opposed to both. Thank you.
Trustee Ledden?
Sure. So, first of all, I do appreciate that you have your business here in Frankfort in both locations. My son's a huge fan, and he's happy every time I take him there. My concern echoes what my fellow trustees have said. We had Planet Fitness who came not too long ago, and they were talking about a 24-hour operation. And we had a number of people who lived nearby there, and I realize it's different, the location of where McDonald's is than Planet Fitness. And they expressed their concern about that. And I kind of felt like we missed a step here in some ways by not hearing more from the public and what they thought about it. I know there was a public hearing at the Plan Commission that was there for it. Nobody really was there to say anything. And it's just one of those things where, in my personal opinion, obviously safety is of paramount importance. But I feel like we don't even get to the safety question until we answer the first question of what is the need for it? Are people really looking for 24 hours? And I understand what you said with regard to the DoorDash and the orders that you see, why you can see why there's a need here. But in talking with people, I haven't found really anybody who has expressed a real need as to why they would want to have it. And I just feel, I hate to use the term, but slippery slope. We start here, what other ones are next, and where does it stop? So that's my feelings, which I've expressed to you before, so I'm sure you're tired of hearing it, but I just wanted to share that tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. O'Gean, would you or either of the applicants want to come forward and say something?
Good evening, Mayor, trustees. Thank you once again for taking the time to consider our request. My name is Jim O'Gean, and I am here on behalf of the applicant, both Mr. Freyege and also McDonald's. Also here with me this evening are Darren and Cass Freyege. They're the operators of the McDonald's restaurants, both of them here in Frankfort. And as was noted, we are seeking a special use permit to expand our drive-through service to 24 hours. We believe that our application clearly demonstrates that we can operate the service safely and responsibly. To be perfectly clear, What we are asking for is just for the drive-through service only. The lobby would be closed overnight. So the motion you are voting for explicitly requires that the exterior doors close at 11 p.m. Now, our confidence in our ability to operate it safely and also responsibly stems from two things primarily. First is our proven experience, and then the independent analysis of the village's experts. First, our experience. We are not new to this. Mr. Fraiegli successfully operates 24-hour locations in neighboring communities. In fact, the two restaurants here in Frankfort are the only restaurants that he has that don't operate 24 hours through the drive-thru. Now, experience is great, but we also got to look at implementation. How do they implement those 24 hours? And when we look at that, we once again can show that we can do so responsibly and safely. As I noted at your October 8th meeting, we have a letter of support from the mayor of Tinley Park, expressing his support and his experience with the 24-hour operation that he has in his community. Similarly, the Village of New Lenox has offered to provide the village's staff whatever data they might want in respect to the one restaurant that Mr. Fraiegli operates in New Lenox. So not only do we have experience, but we also implement properly with what you typically don't get, which is support, letters of support from elected officials in neighboring communities. So that's number one. Number two, we got to look at your consultants and their review of what we're requesting. The Frankfort police chief, the highest ranking official in the village in charge of public safety, she has stated that she doesn't have any objections to this request, provided we close the lobby as we are proposing. Furthermore, the police department has proactively offered training for our staff, which we gladly accept. So the people that you put in charge of the safety of your community are indicating what we're asking for is acceptable. We're also mitigating any other potential impacts that the drive-through might have. We have already implemented at our site. Our drive-through system takes ambient noise levels and adjusts the volume of their speaker boxes, so you won't have that impact. The good thing about these particular locations is that they're not in a residential area. In fact, your staff report indicates that it's going to have no direct impact on residential areas. In terms of demand, that was something that was requested by you, by this board at the October 8th meeting, and we provided that. So in terms of, is there a need? I think we've provided enough data that indicates that there is already demand within the village of Frankfort, because we do have orders being made by residents that get delivered from our Tinley Park location. So we believe there's a demand. We have proven experience. We have proven implementation. And that is something that a lot of times when you guys are voting on particular requests and special use requests, you don't have. You don't have a proven operator that has been in this community for over 15 years. You don't have a proven operator that has operated 24-hour services in communities very similar and adjacent to this one. So based on the fact that we have been able to provide throughout this entire process all this information, support from your internal staff, support from adjacent public officials, we believe that we can operate the 24-hour drive-through safely and responsibly. And we would respectfully request support of that. We have and will continue to maintain an excellent relationship with the Frankfort Police Department. Should they or anyone on this board ever have any issue with the operation of the business or the 24-hour operation, we will immediately address it. So with that, from a financial standpoint, McDonald's as a franchisee, they have a lot of rising costs. And unlike in a lot of businesses where you can simply keep ratcheting up prices, because of the nature of their business, there's really a cap on that. So allowing us to recapture some of those overnight hours, which we provided additional information, would be very, very helpful to the business to overcome some of those additional costs that they're facing. So throughout the process, there hasn't been any testimony, there hasn't been any evidence indicating why this would be problematic at either one of these sites. There is speculation, but that speculation isn't borne by any actual facts. It's not supported by the police department. So once again, we would respectfully request support of our request. Thank you.
So because this was a denial at the, oh, sorry, would you like to come up? Yes. Yes, come forward.
Two here. I just wanted to make one point. I've been doing business in this town since 2001, so it's been 24 years. I've got 2 businesses, and my mother lives in this town. I moved here to her 20 years ago to be closer to me, because I'm not someone who lives an hour away from here. I live within 10 minutes. And of all the neighboring communities that I had to pick from to find a lot for her, build her a house, and get her set up, I chose Frankfort. So I do have skin in the game here. So I just wanted you to all make sure that you all understood that I'm not some distant, remote business owner who has no concern for the community. I definitely do. But we have rising costs that are getting out of control, and the overnight hours in the stores that have been successful really helps us mitigate those costs to keep our prices down as much as we possibly can. That's really what this is all about. I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Yes, did you want to come up or no? Okay. So because this went through Plan Commission and denied in the Plan Commission, we brought you back to Committee of the Whole to answer questions before it went for a final. The final vote would be for a year if we could reapply, if that's the direction you want to go. In this instance, you need 4 of the trustees voting in the affirmative. The mayor does not vote in this instance, although as we've gone through all these proceedings and all the documentation, I'm very much a person that's data-driven. So give me evidence, give me, to the contrary, that something wasn't safe. Personally, I have not seen anything that would be a reason to deny. And going back years, we've approved 24 hours for other businesses, including Jewel and BP. They opted for financial reasons not to do those. That actually goes back to a previous administration. So at this point, it's somewhat in your hands. So if you want us to move forward with the vote tonight, or you think there's another option, I'll take it. If you want us to vote, we'll call the vote now. This is not a hearing, so there's public comment will be later. I'm sorry, that was for the Mrs. Clark. Take the vote, okay. So this is on motion number 1, which was the LaGrange Road location. We have a motion and a second, and we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Rigoni?
No.
Trustee Ledden?
No.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Burley?
No.
All right,
Okay.
we do not have enough.
So,
Motion fails.
yeah, the LaGrange motion failed. The second motion, Trustee Rossi, would you read that, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Motion before us now is to waive the first and second readings and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for extended hours of operation to the property located at 7215 West Lincoln Highway to allow McDonald's to operate 24-hour drive-up service windows. In accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, finding of fact, and subject to the following conditions. The interior dining room shall close and all exterior doors shall be locked at 11 p.m. All orders placed after 11 p.m. shall be processed exclusively through the drive-up service windows. Drive-up service windows shall remain locked when not in use after 11 p.m. Drive-through speaker boxes shall operate using ambient sound detection. The premises shall be equipped with high-definition cameras capturing front and rear license plates, images of customers utilizing the drive-up service windows, and video coverage of the majority of the interior and exterior of the premise. Cameras shall remain functional and operational at all times and shall be available for inspection. Security requirements may be amended at the recommendation of the Frankfort Police Department following security assessments conducted at their discretion. This special use permit is granted to Darren A. Freehag, LLC, and shall be automatically revoked upon sale of the subject property or change in franchisee.
Okay. Can we get a second, please? Okay. We have a motion and a second. We have a discussion. Is there any discussion at this point on this location? All right. We'll go to the vote.
Trustee Rigoni?
No.
Trustee Letton?
No.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
No.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
All right, motion
Okay.
fails.
Motion has failed. The next item on here is what's called the mayor's report. We have the congratulations to Lincoln East for being selected as one of only 15 public schools in Illinois to receive the 2025 Governor's Blue Ribbon Award. This prestigious honor recognizes the school's exemplary academic performance and continued commitment to educational excellence. At the same time, we also want to congratulate Frankfort School District 157C, as both Hickory Creek Middle School and Chelsea Intermediate School were ranked among the top schools in Illinois in U.S. News and World Report. Out of 23,000 middle schools and 47,000 elementary schools, Hickory Creek ranked number 9 amongst middle schools, and Chelsea ranked number 21 amongst the elementary schools. Another testament to the excellence of our schools and community. The village's annual leaf collection program is underway and will continue through December 1st. Residents are reminded to place leaves in piles on the parkway rather than in the street to help them keep storm drains clear and prevent flooding. And in observation of Veterans Day, the Frankfort Village Hall will be closed. That'll be Tuesday, November 11th. And one last thing, we had a great bunch of events here in Frankfort with the trunk or treat, the Ghosts on the Green. And while you're trick-or-treating, if you have extra candy, what we do every year is you can drop it off here at the Village Hall. They pile it up in the mayor's office. And until Friday, November 21st. And we do deliver this candy out to the Mantino Veterans Home, as well as the Crisis Suburbia Center and the Will County Children's Advocacy. In previous years, when there's been more, we've also gone off to Morning Star Mission, and we're certainly open to any recommendations for a charity that you may have. In some cases, this is something that somebody's been traumatized, and a little treat brightens their day. It's something very nice, and our community has really rallied on this, and we're looking forward to doing it again. So, hope you had a great Halloween. That's it for the mayor's report, and we'll go to our Clerk Katie Schubert for board comments.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next committee of the whole meeting will be on Wednesday, November 12th, right here at 5:30. And then our second November village board meeting will be Monday, November 17th at 7 p.m. here at Village Hall. And that is all I have.
East and Hickory Creek Middle School on much-deserved awards. You know, those are some of the main reasons why people come to our community is because of our great schools, and they keep demonstrating that each and every year, so I'm proud of them for that. I also would like to recognize the item that I had on the Plan Commission tonight for the reserve at Copper Creek. As I mentioned, that was a long time coming, and you know, it took a number of years, and it's just an example of really trying to get things right here for what's for Frankfort for really a long, long time to come. So congratulations to them, and I look forward to what that's going to be in just probably 2 years. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to welcome, we issued 2 new business licenses and last month in October, so I'd like to welcome those businesses. You have every community to pick, and you picked Frankfort, and that's the highest compliment you can give us. Also, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be rattling off a number of events that are going to be happening in the village, but that start off, I guess, our holiday season. So I just want to keep you up to speed and keep looking at our Facebook page as well as on the village page. Not just us, we have whether it's the chamber, whether it's the downtown Frankfort Business Alliance, the library, the park district. There's always something going on that will lead us to the holiday season. Thank you.
Okay. Trustee Petra.
Thank you, Mayor. We will definitely be donating some candy this year. I think they collected way too much.
All right.
And I
Thank
would
you.
just echo that. It's definitely getting darker, and the weather is starting to turn, but this happens to be one of my favorite seasons in Frankfort, so please do come out and participate in all the fun fall, winter activities that we will have coming up. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Borelli.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any comments tonight.
Okay. Trustee Rossi.
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight? Okay, no. We're at the point called public comment. This is not a back and forth or a public hearing, but if you'd like to make a comment before the board, you could come forward and do so.
Thank you. I am Bonnie Clark, and I have been a resident of the village of Frankfort for 34 years. Raised my children here and am the proud grandmother of a little toddler here who I take to McDonald's all the time. She loves McDonald's. So primarily I came because I had recently heard about the proposal or the motion that was going to be put before you for extending the McDonald's to a 24-hour drive-through. And because I just found out about this, I was a little bit taken back and thought, I'm not that aware of the community politics and all that had gone into considering this, and I find it's not, to me, it's not a safety issue because I think due diligence was done prior to presenting the motion, and not so much afraid of what could happen, but do we really need a 24-hour fast food drive-through restaurant in Frankfort? We've survived this long without it. There are plenty of options that are close by for the residents to go to if they want to go out and get a fast food meal in the middle of the night. It's not that far to go to Tinley Park or Madison or New Lenox. And I'm glad that they are having success, but that doesn't mean we have to be like them. We're not like the other communities around us in many respects, and I think that a lot of the Frankfort residents take pride in that fact. So that's pretty much what I had to say. I'm pleased that the motion went the way that it did. And from what I understand, they can reapply in another year. And I hope if they do that, at least at that point, or if any other fast food restaurant or any other restaurant wants to propose or get a special use permit to be open 24 hours, that this would be made more public to the community and see how everybody feels. I did reach out to people in the few days after I heard about it, and 100% were against it. So that's the reaction that I got from people that and I didn't talk to them personally. I just sent out a text and said, how do you feel about this? Or I didn't even say, how do you feel? I said, if you are concerned, please let the trustees and the village board know. So I'm pleased that it turned out the way it did. I want to thank you all for the time and the work that you put into the village. I love living here. We've gotten other family members to move here and start raising their family, and they have children in Hickory Creek and Grand Prairie, and we're trying to get more nieces and nephews to move out here, so, and hope that they have as good, as positive an experience as my husband and I have had. So thank you very much.
Any other public comment tonight? Hearing none, can I get a motion and a second to adjourn? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good night.